Hi everybody, this is Lynn from Creative Concept Crafts with this week's release, and it's our camera shutter card. This is one that I was actually asked to take a look at, and this is the version that I've come up with. So it's got a little belly band on which just slides off. There's the decorative design on the front, and as we release and open up, there's the greeting hiding underneath the camera shutter. So we're going to talk you through everything that you need to make this card. You have, of course, always got the plain matte options. You don't have to put the decorative element in. So it's always there as an alternative. We have a matching box and envelope box as well. So to start off, we have the card base, which is just a simple fold. Make sure when you're folding that in the centre that it closes up in the centre. I've gone round all the edges on the corner of the scoreboard so that I've got that nice beveled edge to match up my mats. That's the internal mats, and then if you're wanting to put a greeting on the back, you could add one or both of those on the reverse side. The little piece that goes behind the camera shutter has actually been written on the scan and cut. I've put 4 or 5 different ones in there, but of course if you wanted to do your own one you could just take the piece of card size and use whatever you want, whether you want to stamp it. This is the little shutter element with its mat. The front and back pieces with the mat, that's the belly band with the decor piece for the front of the card. This is the camera shutter pieces, and I'll talk you through that of how everything goes together. And I'm actually going to add a flower to this one instead of the little camera, which I've also added into the file. So everything that you see, with the exception of the flowers, which is the Starburst collection, everything else is included in this collection. So we're going to move on and start to put everything together. Starting off with the 2 mats for inside. So I'm just going to whiz through this because you've seen matting and layering before. Don't forget that my glue is a very, very fine nozzle, so it never gets overused and you never get the bending of the card. So because I've got that beveled edge, I've got a really nice line to follow all the way around. Flip over and just burnish all that glue down. Make sure it's well down, especially on the corners. And I'm now going to add that to the centre of the card. And again, lining up about 1/8 of an inch top and bottom and at the sides of a gap of your mat. So again, burnishing on the wrong side. And at this stage, if you are wanting to put a mat on the back with your greeting, do so at this point. It'll be easier for you to get it down there. So I've already matted 3 of the pieces. There's 2 go on the inside, 2 for the outside. So I've just the 1 piece to mat up. You could actually also transfer the little bits that come out. If you use some of the transfer tape like you would for vinyl, you could actually get a reverse card from this one as well. I actually haven't done it for this particular one. I did it on a previous design, but you could also do it on this one, so that you're actually getting 2 cards for the price of 1, and they look totally different. So this is all the basic mats and layers for the base part of the card, complete at that stage. Okay, now we're ready to start on the camera shutter part. So I've added some red liner tape to the tabs on the top and bottom of the piece, and I need to mat up the decor panel. So I'm just going to whiz round all the little bits on that. and you'll find that that matches up exactly. If you wanted to use a plain mat here instead of this decor piece, there is a circle that comes, there's a straight circle and there's a circle with like a scallop that you could put over the top of that. There's the plain one. There's also a decorative one. I don't need it on this one because it's already glitter card. But if you are wanting to add to the plain mat, then those two decor pieces are in there for you to add to the card. So I'm just making sure all the bits are down now. And we're ready to attach that to the card centre. And it fits in the centre. Just fold those score lines in and it will line up top and bottom with your mat 1 layer. That's going to go inside in the centre. Your greeting. So what I'm going to do, I'm just making sure everything's centred there. Get the greeting centred. I'm just squaring it up just a little tab there. And just put a little pencil line. Make sure you are in the centre. I'm just double checking. Just put a little pencil line on the corners, top and bottom. You could do it on the 4 sides if you wanted. I've just actually done top and bottom here, so that you know where you're gluing your message inside, because that needs to be added now before you put the shutter piece on. So I'm just gluing that up, and we've got the pencil lines just to line up with. You don't have to worry about these because they'll all be covered up, but I'm just make sure that it's square across the top line and that you're in the centre. Before I push it down, I'm again doing another check just to make sure it's going to land in the centre. So you can see, well, you can't, there we go. You can see that it's in the centre. Now I'm happy. I'll push that into position. Just burnish it down. Okay, now we're ready to add the little piece over the top. Just peeling off the liner tape. Just peeling it off halfway so that if it needs a little tweak, I can tweak it before I push it down, because red liner tapes are so and so. Once it's down, it's down. I usually just press down with my pokey tool just to stop it from flipping back, because that's another thing it loves to do. So make sure that this is getting centred, lined up with the purple at the top. So it's mat 1 you're lining up with, not the pale pink. It's lined up to the layer below that, at the top and at the bottom. And once you're happy, you can just pull off the liner tape. You can see there it's lining up with the purple and it's centred there as well. So I'm just removing the red liner tape and just press into position. And the same at the top. I'm going to give that a good burnish, because with there being a mechanism that pulls, you want to make sure it's not going to come off. So don't be frightened of pushing down that red liner tape. So far so good. Now we just have to deal with the little shutter mechanism. There's 2 pieces, and again on the tabs I've put the red liner tape. You're going to put these one inside the other, so it's over one end and under the other, and close it up until there's no gap in that centre. It's completely closed up, and then you need to slide it underneath that top panel. And that will line up again with the edge of your purple, and the shutter, which opens up, you can see as I'm pulling it there, that shutter mechanism, the centre of the, where it closes, the very centre dot, it will give you like a curtain effect when it's open, but that centre dot, when you push everything in together, will be right in the centre of your circle. So you're looking to line up the dot in the centre of your circle, and those two pieces run to the edge of the purple. Okay, so it's covering up the whole of that part of the pink mat. So that's right in the centre. Okay, can you see that? So that when it opens, you will get it pulling evenly. So again, just take a little bit of time getting everything lined up here. And then just hold it in the centre while you remove the red liner tape. Just going to hold it now with my other hand while I remove the other side. Don't let it go at this stage. And again, just tweaking to make absolutely sure. And I'm just looking that directly down to make sure it's lined up, and just simply push down. I'm now just going over each of those lines. Make sure that red tape is taken hold. And there we go with the big reveal. Peekaboo, just for you. Isn't that great? So instead of putting a camera on this, the first one I did I thought was a great mail card with the greys. And then I thought, okay, let's do it for the girls as well. So I'm going to add a few of the starburst flowers. It's the smallest one and the next two sizes bigger. I think there were 5 in total, so it's like the middle size and then going down to the smallest one. And I'm going to put one into the centre of the greeting that's going to go on the belly band. And the saying on this is, "It's your birthday." So I'm just whizzing through this. I'm just adding a few leaves along with the flower. So there we go. It's your birthday. When you cut this out, you'll cut it out in the base colour, and then I've also given you letters to cut separately, and I've just offset them just slightly, so it gives you a little bit of a shadow effect on the text there. So I'm just going to add 1 or 2 flowers to the centre of the card. When I add flowers, I always tuck the petals, inside of one another a little bit so that they nuzzle in together. And I'm just adding a few leaves. So there we go. So there's just the belly band to deal with now. That won't close hard, but it will close enough to go into a box. So with your belly band, again, I've matted and layered it up to now. Just fold it over the centre of your card. And then once you've folded it, don't press it down on the edges, but just slide it backwards just a little bit before you actually burnish it down. So from there, can you see I'm just sliding it down just a smidgen so that it's not too tight when you're sliding it on and off the card. Okay, if I hold that now, it'll slide off quite comfortably. And obviously where that pushes down is where I need to glue in the centre. So I'm just putting a mark, and then I can add glue. I know where I'm adding glue to the centre. So I'm just hot gluing this together. just pushing down. So there's still a little bit of spring on there. So there we go, see, slides down quite happily. Now don't worry where the fold is, because that's going to be covered up with our sentiment on the front. So I'm just looking to see where I need to glue. I'm just gluing across the centre of the sentiment again with the hot glue. About 1/2 inch wide, and then just pop that down over the centre. So that covers up all the join in the middle. You don't see it. Now you could add gems if you wanted to on the decor panels. It's entirely up to you. I felt that this was enough with it being glitter card. But isn't that a great project? So there's our matching envelope box. And we have our box as well. So the camera card would be quite happy in the envelope box. With the flowers, I would maybe tend to put them into the box. It just gives you that little bit of spring. The envelope box has got about 1/4 inch, whereas the box has got 1 inch. So it's definitely giving you that little bit more leeway. Okay, so there's the 2 options. Just open up so you can see the reveal once more. So that's the belly band, and that's the envelope box for the camera. There's the belly band with the camera on the front, and warning, at any time I may snap. That's all for now. Hope you enjoy the design. Until next time, have a great crafting session. Bye for now.